think I need another cheeseburger.
When they said not everyone deserves a podcast, we didn't listen. The Middle Classholes.
All right, so I was at an event here recently. Something happened to me. And Murr, this is actually going to spawn a memory. I don't know if you're going to remember this, but it took place when you were 19 or 20, maybe 21. And I was like 16, 17 or so. And it reminded me of what you told me back then. So anyway, as a partial season ticket holder, I wasn't invited. We had to like put our name into a raffle, but Sarah and I won access to meet the Baltimore Orioles broadcast team before an Orioles game at the warehouse. Awesome. It was from 4:30 till about, I think 5:45. They weren't telling people to leave by like 5:50, but it was kind of evident as I was drinking my sixth beer. So let me get myself focused here. But yeah, so we got off work a little bit early, went into the warehouse, walked up. I want to say about 4:30. We were running a tick late, but not anything egregious. Just so much so that we had to get food and drink and then kind of scramble to where there was an empty seat. I want to say there was about 100 people there. Okay. So I want to present this in a way for people who aren't familiar with the Baltimore Orioles broadcasting team, the people who are on TV and the radio. I got to kind of bridge that gap. So 3 people from the television side, 2 people from the FM side walk out, introduce themselves, say hello for a little bit. Then they come by to every table for 5 to 7 minutes. Get to shoot the shit with them, ask them questions, get photos, and what have you. Okay. Or you probably know the players at hand that I was talking about. Kevin Brown, Ben McDonald, Melanie Newman, and then Jeff Arnold, and damn it, I'm gonna forget the other FM.
Oh, Jeff
station.
Arnold. Is that yes? Well, not a fan of your voice, Jeff. Sorry.
I'm trying to remember who the other FM station guy. I'm gonna look this up while I'm talking. But so I find out that relatively quickly that I'm sitting with 2 of the worst super fans that I could have sat with in general. So it's myself, Sarah, later on joined by two friends of ours who got there a little bit later, a mom and her daughter, who her daughter was like, I don't know, 15 years older than us. And the mom, sweet old lady, had an Orioles cap, said she used to go to games in the 50s at Memorial Stadium. And this guy who was there by himself. And I found out that the middle-aged woman and this guy were just about the worst. I was like, my fears are coming true. They're going to fucking consume every fucking second when these people come by. Melanie Newman comes by first. Okay. She does between the innings work for Masson. And then she moonlights on the 105 as play-by-play for 105.7 FM. All right. They consume just about every second. We get to get pictures, and she looks at me and Sarah says, like, do you guys have any questions? I was just like, yeah, like, where'd you go to broadcast school? Where'd you like earn your stripes to get to the Orioles? And she rattles off about 10 years worth of resumes, 10 years worth of a resume, most of which was spent in like minor A ball clubs. And I was like, wow, you really did it. You did the legwork to get here to the majors. And she was like, yeah, some of those times I really doubted what the hell I was doing, but no, this organization has been great. And I'm super happy. Okay. Next comes Ben McDonald. Ben McDonald, former Orioles pitcher in the 80s and 90s. He's the color commentary. He spells Jim Palmer. They do about half the games. Palmer was not there, by the way. And these two just grab onto him. All right. Blah, 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 blah. And I'm holding my phone, kind of dick-headishly standing behind him, waiting to take a picture, and they don't stop. She asks him, well, what's going on with CNL Perez? For those of you who don't know, CNL Perez is a middle reliever who was let go by the Orioles, who is now in their minor league system. And McDonald goes, he's not pitching well. I almost said, ma'am, I'm really sorry that your favorite middle reliever was let go by the team, not signed by any other team in baseball, was then signed by the Orioles again, and is now pitching to the tune of a 6.5 ERA in AAA. I'm really fucking sorry. Stop with this bullshit. I got to have a picture with him. The only thing I could ask him is if he could still hold 7 baseballs in his hand, which he got a kick out of. He says, not all the time. Next, and damn it, it's not, trying to remember for the context of the story, the other FM station guy sits down with us, starts asking us questions, super engaging. He actually did it right. He kind of thanked us for being season ticket holders, said this is the type of fandom that really is the bloodline of the organization. And then starts going into like what we think needs to happen, what's going on. And he brings up Jackson Holliday's name. The guy says, what do you mean? Do you mean Jeremiah Jackson? I love him. And he's like, no, I was talking about Jackson Holliday. I jokingly said, you know what we need? We need more Jacksons. We need 5 of them. We need to get a band together in this team. He got a big time chuckle out of this and looks at me and says, okay, what do you think the offseason holds? Who do you think the Orioles might target, or what do you think they might do? And I thought, holy shit. Here's a play-by-play for a major FM station for the Baltimore Orioles asking me for my opinion about what the team should do. Funny you should ask. I actually contemplated if you were going to ask me this question during this meet and greet.
I practiced this in the shower yesterday.
I was masturbating to this answer. And I got my finger up and was making a point, and the guy said, well, I'll tell you what, I think blah, 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 blah. And he kind of sighed and turned and looked at him as the professional he is. I almost excused myself. I almost got up from the fucking table and said, I got to use the bathroom or my beer's empty. I'm sorry. I got to get oh my fucking God, these people, man. This reminded me of MTV was running a promotion where you could get to spend the day with Lenny Kravitz. And you said someone's going to win it that's not appreciative. Like, I love you. I have all your albums. I've been to your concerts 10 or 15 times. Oh my God, I'm a Lenny Kravitz fan. Whereas you said, I would be like, Lenny, let's just smile for the cameras and get the fuck out of here and go fucking hound dog some women.
Let's go do what you do. I don't like you. I love you, obviously. I know who you are because I love your music. But you're a dude at the end of the day. You're enjoying your fandom and your riches. Let's just go be normal fucking people. And I want to live in the world that you live in because that's a world I don't get to be a part of. I don't want to ask you. Dude, I'm so sorry. Because I know those people. Those are unfortunately, again, coming from the world of radio, those are the people that win the contests. Those are the people that show up for the free t-shirt. Those are the people that want to talk about how Pantera doesn't get played enough on the radio. That's who you fucking end up at the table with, and I'm so fucking sorry for that. Yeah. God damn.
It was Brett Hollander, by the way, who's the other.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
And he again, like, my friend, the 2 guys who showed up, they showed up as people were starting to come to the table. So they missed some of the introduction and stuff. And they were like, hey, did we miss anything? No, nothing of note. You're fine.
Sure didn't.
Yeah, you sure didn't. But afterwards, I talked about how pissed I was. And he's like, he looked right at you. I know how you are about baseball. I was actually excited. I started gearing up in my chair because I knew you had an answer. I knew you had some ideas about, like, hey, if you have the email of the front office, I could certainly pass along some recommendations or anything like that. And then lastly, Jeff Arnold sat down, and I jokingly said, I was like, all your cohorts have came here from the front. You came in from the side, like you were coming in through the audience like a pro wrestler, man of the people. I love it. And he was like, oh, look at this guy. All right. And then immediately these two just, hey, oh, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, man, they're obnoxious, they're jerks, and they don't know. They think they're swell, sweet, wonderful people who are just super fans that these announcers need to meet. They need to understand who they are and hear their voice.
Well, here's the thing. You might get an opportunity to do this again since you're probably going to continue to be a season ticket holder.
We talked about it. If this happens next year, I'm going to purposely select people that aren't going to do that. I'm going to get a table of like-minded individuals that are not going to be these people.
Well, now, if you could go back in time, though, would you have told these motherfuckers off? Would you have said, shut the fuck up? Next person that comes over here, shut your fucking hole. I mean, because, again, you might get kicked out. You might start a fight. But don't you think you might get a little... Look how angry you are right now.
Yeah.
Imagine if you were able to, like, at least get some, like, personal satisfaction from talking shit to these people for being total cocksmokers, man. It's just... I absolutely hate these people, and I so apologize because I know exactly who they are, and I'm sorry for you.
I knew you'd like this because these people don't have a name. You know what I mean? There's got to be some sort of identifying, descriptive definition word to what and they're not super fans.
No.
I don't care how many games these people have been to. I even had a conversation later on with the woman, if you want to get into the nitty gritty, about how just blatantly moronic she was. But they need a name. There's got to be some sort of.
I call them the glommers. They glom on to this, like, whatever's there. Like, they're moochers. They're energy suckers. They grab on to the thing. Part of me respects them, if I'm being perfectly honest, because, like, they get exactly what they want out of it. They're so fucking selfish that, they're the first ones in line for the free sample. They always win the contest because they push themselves. They fill out all the raffle tickets. They get what they want, and they don't give two fucks about anybody else around them. And by the way, they're selfish because their lives could have been enriched by the conversation that you had with these people that they could have listened to. Yeah, but that they didn't want to do that.
Or add on, or anything, or other people around the table. Because there was a lone individual, lone wolf, if you will. Frank, I believe his name was, who all he really wanted was a couple things signed. He had a bobblehead and a baseball, and he was like, God, there was a point where I thought that wasn't going to happen. I thought I was going to be the jerk for needing that extra 10 seconds for a signature.
I got to be honest, that's why I hate myself sometimes, because, like, you see what you've gone through because of how rude these cocksmokers were, and then I'm the one who's, like, afraid to ask because I feel like I'm asking too much. You know, I don't want to be a bother, but there's some people in this world that they live to bother. That's their whole hustle.
So towards the end of their table stays, we got pictures. And Hollander, I was wearing an Ain't the Beer Cold t-shirt. And for those of you who don't know, that was a book written by Chuck Thompson, who was a longtime Orioles and Colts announcer, Hall of Famer. And he says, God, I love this shirt, by the way. And I was like, I actually got to have dinner with him in the summer of 2002. And we were saying cheese at that point. He spun and looked at me. He says, are you serious? I never got to meet him. I said, yeah, my father won a silent raffle in Harford County. And his grandson owned a restaurant in my hometown. And we did a day, and you could tell he was like, really, and he's like, oh, sorry, he's got to go to the next table, because of these fucking.
Yeah, I know. Because at the end of the day, man, I just want to meet interesting people. When I work the job, it's the job. I don't care. I want to talk about my job. Do you want to talk about your job? Like, when you go to, like, meet, like, interesting new people, do you want to talk about your job? No. You just, like, hey, I peripherally know you. You're a cool dude. Let's just chat. Let's talk about pro wrestling. Let's talk about, like, what happened on The Bachelorette. I don't care. I like your opinions on baseball, so I have a feeling I'm gonna like your opinions on other things as well. Like, if did Kevin Brown stop by?
So again, this was at no fault of the people at our table. Kevin Brown, pretty much, I think everyone missed out on one person by about a table and a half. So they kind of they did a speed dating type thing. Kevin Brown came to our table, said hello, and took pictures with everyone. Very nice, very, cordial, accommodating. Was actually kind of bummed out that he didn't get to make the full rounds, but it was time permitting, and that's fine. That was just the luck of the draw of where we were sitting. It could have happened to anybody.
Because for me, like, my goal would not have been to like talk to baseball with Kevin Brown. My goal would have been to be like, become best friends with Kevin Brown. Like, that guy's just like, I'd like to hang out with that guy. That guy just sounds like a fun time. Like, hey, if you and the wife can come out sometime, we'll meet you down at Pickles, I mean,
that's right. He's a lot taller in person than I thought. He's about a half inch to an inch taller than me. I was surprised. I thought he was like a 5'10" guy.
Listen, everybody's taller than me, so that does not impress me at all. Yeah.
But man, it was just, again, I wasn't going to be the person that had the stranglehold on the conversation. I just wanted a little bit of bullshit time. Like when Arnold sat down and I joked about him coming, I said, you're like Diamond Dallas Page coming through the people, you're a man of the people. He got a good chuckle out of that. He was like, oh God, okay. Normal human. Thank you. And I just wanted to bullshit with these people like that. And it was fucking ruined. And, we didn't do a thorough crowd scan when we walked in. We had our beer, we had our plates of food, and Sarah was like, there's seats right there. And I was like, yeah, perfect. we'll sit there. And within a minute, I was like, I think we made a wrong choice. I think these people suck terribly.
That's a reality of life. Listen, some people suck. I remember having this conversation with somebody like, this is the dumbest thing in the world. It's about ghosts. If ghosts are real, like why are insane asylums so haunted? Because those ghosts are insane dickheads.
Yeah, that's right.
That's it. Like, the same point about, like, old people. Like, old people, you should treat old people with respect. No, I shouldn't. Because old people are just young people who were assholes who got old. That's it. They don't all deserve my respect. Humans deserve my respect for being nice people. I don't like you.
There is something endearing about, like, cool old man. But he was cool before he was an old man.
Exactly.
He's probably cooler.
And that crotchety old fuck who just screams and fucking, like, shakes his cane at you, he was a dickhead before he got old. So fuck him, too.
A much more mobile and limber dickhead.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. And here's the last story I'm going to tell you before we go to the break of Fun Fact Friday. McDonald was giving them kind of because, by the way, Kyle Bradish started. It was his first start in like a year and some change. Pitched really well. And they were kind of using that as a talking point. If the table was stale, they're like, well, hey, Bradish is back. What do you guys think? And he was giving these two, I guess, a tutorial on the difference between pitching when he was pitching and pitching now, and how we didn't try to strike everyone out. Now it's just max velocity, max velo, max spin, max everything. And he's like, yeah, honestly, and someone brought up Rogers. He's like, Rogers is honestly doing something that not a lot. He's probably the most dominant pitcher that I've seen in an Oriole uniform since Mike Mussina. Then he walks away. And I said something about how Mussina's stats were so overlooked because he pitched in Camden Yards for 9 years of his career. And she's like, what? And I said, he pitched in a bandbox. She said, what's a bandbox? It's like, well, it means where a lot of people hit a lot of home runs. And he's like, yeah, but they moved the fence back. I was like, yeah, like 3 years ago. Mussina retired fucking a dozen years ago. and then I said, I was like, and I tried to say, like, do you know what ERA plus is? And she took, well, was it ERA plus something? I was like, well, they take your stadium into consideration and try to map it out against the median of the rest of the league. His numbers were really good. And then she paused. She was like, yeah, but he went to the Yankees and I just didn't like him after that. And I was like, Jesus Christ.
See, listen. I don't always agree with IQs. But there's a delineation, right? When you get below a certain point, there ain't a lot of fucking cogs to fucking spin the wheel in the head anymore.
This is okay, I'll throw a hypothetical at you. Do you think Forrest Gump would have been fun to chat with?
Yes.
I don't think so. I think it'd have been within 5 minutes. You'd be like, I just can't with this guy anymore.
Well, again, maybe this comes from like the art of conversation is like, I think you have to quickly determine what you're dealing with. Mm-hmm. And with somebody like Forrest Gump, your questions would have to be more intelligent than his answers. You would have to be like baiting him to give you what you want.
Gotcha.
But I think you would quickly recognize with somebody like Forrest that like what you're getting into. And gotcha. Unfortunately, some of these low IQ motherfuckers are daywalkers, right? Like, you know, they look normal on the surface until you crack that nut open. And you're like, "Ooh, it's rotten and sour inside. This is not gonna go well."
Gotcha. And he would have just sat there and drank his fucking Dr. Pepper and would have talked when addressed.
And I'll be honest, I feel like I have a unique insight on this because of the jobs that I've had. Like, the people that you deal with on a daily basis are definitely IQ probably 100 plus all day, every day. Like, they couldn't have gotten to the job that they're doing in your field of like expertise if they weren't moderately intelligent. Like, they might be dumb for what they do, but they're not
lazy.
Yeah, but they're not lazy or dumb based on the rest of the general population.
Sure.
Whereas I've done jobs where I deal with the entirety of the population, and I'm like, oh, some folks aren't like us. But, dude, go back to, like, the Middle Ages. Imagine, like, running into the guy whose entire job is just shoveling pig shit every day.
Yeah.
Like, they look normal on the outside until you fucking ask them a question, and they don't know the answer, you know? Like,
yeah. It's certain, like, and again, I didn't really get to converse with anyone else at any other table, so I can only pull from a small sample size of fandom. And it kind of made me embarrassed about being, I guess, a quote unquote super fan. Like, I'm not, man, listen, I hope these people understood that I didn't know them. I met them from that day. And as a matter of fact, they were talking about season tickets, and Sarah and I haven't committed to next year, which we probably will. The guy was saying he had a full 82 game plan or 81 game. And he was trying to sell. He was like, I'm trying to find some people that just buy him a la carte. And I was like, oh, maybe I have to get your information. And that was like one of the first things I said to him. If he had just played his fucking cards right, I blew him off when we were in the cocktail lounge. I was like, I'm good, man. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Because you're lucky you would have, like, ended up sitting next to him for a couple of games.
Oh, God. Jesus. Fucking shoot me. There's not enough Steady Eddie IPA in the world that would keep me from fucking passing out or barfing on him.
And doesn't it make you angry? This is what's sad, is it almost makes you upset that they, too, are a fan of your team.
God, it is. Some of the panhandles of the outskirts of Baltimore take, these towns take pride in being working class communities. And that's fine. I'm not knocking a community for being proud, for being working class. But I have crossed paths with some of the Glen Burnie and Dundalk folk they call themselves super fans. And all they want to do is talk to you, and they don't want anything in return. They don't want to hear any of your insight, opinions, any stories of your own. That doesn't matter. Shut the fuck up. I'm going to tell you about how badass I am and how much of a fan I am.
Yeah, well, they're not looking for insight. They're just looking for confirmation on theirs.
On their own. Oh, God. Well, thank you for that therapy session there, Dr. Murr. I appreciate you.
Very welcome. I wish I didn't have as much insight on the subject as I do, but
I know. I thought this was Murr probably in his fucking in his heyday with working at the Bay, probably more often than not cross paths with these dope fans.
Well, this is why, like, Alec Baldwin's a turd. Alec Baldwin's a turd, but I always feel bad for celebrities, and believe me, I'm not elevating myself to any fucking level, but I can say that there was a few occasions where I went to the Delaware State Fair, and I was a regionally known personality, and trying to make my way through Cholesterol Alley, fucking, like, where all the fried foods are, and, like, having to stop and talk to, like, 3 to 5 fucking people just trying to, like, walk with Maria to a ride. Like, hey, what's going on? Yeah, trying to talk to me about, like, a bit I did on the air that I don't remember. And just like, yeah. Yeah, no, I'm here with my wife. We're enjoying the fair. But I'll spend this next 15 minutes with you talking about stuff I don't remember.
I do remember when you did that bit a couple months ago. God, that was so funny.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
100%. And then I think about, like, the John Cenas of the world, the Rocks of the world. Like, just, like, I'm a guy. I heard Ben Affleck talking about this, and he was talking about he's like, people say it comes with the territory. To an extent, I agree with him. Fine. He's like, but I love acting. If I could just do that and not do this would be great. I'd love life. He's like, but in order to be an actor, I have to interact with fucking crowds. I got to deal with, like, cameras in my face. I don't think that's fair. But
No.
there's people out there that glom on to that. Oh, this guy, like, what are they? They're people. They're you. Stop treating them as such.
Yeah,
like,
they're picking up their bag. They're picking up their baggage from a long airplane ride.
Yes.
Let them get to their car.
How would you feel if you got to the baggage claim and someone just wanted to talk to you about project management?
Oh, God. Like, who
Hey,
the fuck are
hey,
you?
Hey, a buddy of mine, he works for a company, and they were refurbishing, and they were putting in new computer systems. What do you think about the Yeah, it's a good system.
Sounds good, man.
Yeah,
That's
I like
fucking,
it.
Well,
Yeah.
I hope someone's making money, I guess. Yeah.
Right. You have nothing to offer. You don't care. And that's your everyday walking to your car, getting your Starbucks. Just like, Jesus Christ, man. I'm a dude. I like beer. I like a good TV show, like old fucking funny movies. That's it. Talk to me about that, not about my job.
Yeah, I see. I'm saying not a lot. I've crossed paths with either celebrities or local celebrities or athletes on occasion. And Sarah has a couple times said like, you should go up and like either like just say hello or whatever. I'm like, I don't know. And I really don't think it's appropriate. I did, however, one time. Do you remember Vlade Divac?
Yeah.
Center for the Lakers and the Sacramento Kings. I think he played for Charlotte he was traded to Charlotte for Kobe. But I saw him in the Minneapolis airport in the summer of 2000 by himself. And I pointed to Dewey and nudged him. I was like, that's fucking Vlade Divac. And he's like, holy shit. And I said, I don't know. No one's around him. He's by himself. Do you think it's inappropriate if I just go up and get an autograph? And my mom had a plane ticket from the connecting flight to get to Minneapolis. That's all we had. And I was like, fuck it. I'm going to do it. And all I says, Mr. Divac, hey, listen, I'm a big fan. Just want to know if you get your autograph. Oh, yeah. And I was like, please beat the Lakers this year. God. And he looked up and smiled. I was like, okay, we'll try. That was it.
And that's great. And that was a great interaction for him. Like, this guy didn't fucking ask me stupid fucking questions about this or that. Greatest interview I ever had. Now, Michael Ian Black isn't the fucking biggest celebrity in the world, but he was coming on the show and we were doing a fucking interview.
He was Radio Man.
No. Michael Ian Black was
he was in the hall, but
he was the state.
Oh, you're right. Okay, yeah. The state. That's right. He wasn't in news radio.
And he was also
I
in
know you're talking about. Yes.
Viva Variety. He was Johnny Blue Jeans. And as soon as we got going, I didn't ask him anything about his career or about the TV shows he did. I asked him a question about time travel. And I was like, what if you met you from the future? And he's like, and then everybody on the show was like, no, we got to talk about it. Like, no. He goes, no, I like this question. Let's dig deeper. And we did like an improv back and forth about imagine. And he was like, why are you asking me this? And I told him why. I was like, well, what if the technology exists to send me back in time, who's to say that I'm not like a evil force meant to do harm? He's like, ooh, interesting. And when we got done, the post interview, he's like, I got to tell you, that's the greatest interview I've ever fucking done. He didn't ask me. He's like, you brought up the state. Because I did. As I introduced him, I said from the state, Viva Variety, blah, 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 blah. He's like, you didn't ask me a single fucking question about any of my projects. And I don't like talking about work when I'm not at work. So thank you. And he said, thank you. Like, dude, you're an interesting dude. Obviously, like, we got similar minds. Let's talk about similar things. Yeah. That was it. And he appreciated it. And I don't think these people want to talk about their fucking job all the time. And anyway, I'm rambling, but no, treat people like fucking people, man. That's it.
Yeah. Crack a few jokes. What you have, like 5, maybe 10 minutes tops. They don't, Ben McDonald doesn't want to hear about when you watch. I watched you pitch at Memorial Stadium in 1990, and you struck out 4 Cleveland Indians. Man, that's God, you fucking momos.
Oh, I did get to interview Brady Anderson, and I asked him if he got any residuals from the rollerblade company, and he thought that was funny.
I met Brady Anderson at a restaurant, and someone said something like, the bartender knew who I was. He called me Foxy. He was like, Foxy, it's Brady Anderson. I was like, nice to meet you, Jake. You know who he is, right? And I was like, yes, I know who he is. And he said, you want to say anything to him? And I was like, your poster and your boxer briefs was a hoot at a Chinese giveaway at a Christmas party of ours like 10 years ago. He's like, he thought that was really funny.
I also told him that every pubescent boy in Perryville, Maryland had sideburns thanks to him.
The good chops. Yeah. Middle class holes, everyone presenting between the holes. We're actually a little bit over time. That's all right. That's what happens here on this show. We get bantering and we get crazy. We're a half hour in. And for those of you who don't know, if you're just tuning in, Between the Holes is between the regular shows. A little bit of a consolidated show with just Murr and myself. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be back with Fun Fact Friday.
It's a case of very little brain going bad.
Go pump some neurons. Expand your craniums.
And now, Fun Fact Friday.
All right, let's get to your Between the Holes Fun Fact Friday with a little bit of This Week in History. Brought to you, of course, by, let's do, the Shin Splints Recovery Group this week, one of our sponsors. If you got any pain below your knee and above your ankle, make sure you check out the Shin Splints Recovery Group. You can find them on Facebook. Probably one of the most successful bullshit medical sites that you can find. Shin splints, of course, are slight fractures in your shin bone. Take a break.
Yeah, you can't quantify if that is actually one of the biggest bullshit medical pages on Facebook, but I think we have the wherewithal to claim it as such.
Yeah, and the fact that no one has caught on that is, you know what? It's kind of weird though, because if you go there, I mean, people are asking like legitimate, like,
people are in dire need. People are in grave danger.
Yeah, and then the comment section is taken over. Does the administrator for the page have any involvement anymore?
He has said he's a silent partner. He also said at some point that he might pull a big reveal, but his advisory committee suggests that they'll think that he's in on the plot and thus turn on him and take over the page.
Probably correct. Assessment there. Now I say let it run. Let's see how far it can go. I say get more involved. I say start creating more bullshit ailments for people to diagnose for themselves. I mean, AI might come into play here at some point, but until that day comes, you've always got the assholes sitting at the table who don't have any fucking self-awareness.
I would say start making fake accounts and start saying leeches helped, kitty litter, fucking
100%. Also, check out our other sponsor, the Cuckster. Find the Cuckster on both Facebook and Instagram. That's Cuckster for life. Cuckster for life on both Instagram and the TikTok. Let's get to it. 5 fun facts. Not 5 fun facts. Sorry, it's between the holes, buddy.
It's between the holes, baby.
Between the holes.
Consolidate that.
Let's get to
3 to the second power. Minus 3.
This week in history for your Fun Fact Friday. Did you know on September 1st, 1939, World War II began when Germany invaded Poland? It's a huge history moment. So September 1st. Now, I'm going to bring that up because I'm going to get to the second fun fact right behind that. Because did you know on September 2nd, 1945, Japan formally surrendered, ending World War II. So it started on September 1st, ended on September the 2nd. Only, 6 years? 6 years later?
Yeah, 6 years in a day. Maybe if you throw a leap year in there, maybe 2 days if you want to get all technical about it. And it was the Rhineland was the what Germany wanted, right? Well, I think they wanted all of Poland.
They
that was
everything, man.
It's
Why stop there, right?
We wanted this little sliver for ourselves. Psych! Just kidding. Here comes more.
But, I mean, this comes back to my whole thing about the past. It's like, man, so much more efficient when you don't let these bodies get involved, man. No UN, no none of this. Like, no, we're fighting a fucking war, and then we're ending a war. We're not going to talk about it. We're not talking treaties until say uncle and say it now. Okay, this is your last chance.
Yeah. You can say it in your native tongue. That's fine. We got a translator.
Unkenstein.
That's right. Yeah, man. I did like the World War II. I would say it's interesting, and not to say that World War I isn't interesting. It's just II had so, because I remember I did.
The sequel's so much better. Yeah,
I did book reports on both, and I felt like I had a legitimate entire encyclopedia on II, whereas one it was a handful of books and just some memoirs and shit like that.
Well, one felt like a pissing contest, and then two felt like an actual, like what we know as a traditional war to this day. Is like, I'm going to try to conquer lands, and you're going to try to stop me. Like, one was just like,
shoot
I don't know.
You, shoot him.
Yeah.
Shoot everybody. Well,
yeah.
It's like, it was the king of what, Albania, or the prince of Albania?
Franz Ferdinand, Austria.
Austria, yeah. Yeah, interesting. But, that is fucking, wait, hold on. Was it the sinking of Lusitania when we got brought into one?
No, that was two. But
that was the formal, but we were already kind of gearing up. We were kind of understanding, like, hey,
look,
we got to get involved here soon.
In the modern era, We all know that was bullshit. That was like, we need a reason. What happened? Oh, a boat sunk. God, that's the one that we wanted to not sink. And you could pull the wool over people's eyes so much easier back then. You just call up a reporter. Hey, I want you to write this. And then everybody buys it.
Print it. Yeah, I remember I was washing dishes at the Rendezvous Inn in Perryville, Maryland. And I was going to collect my paycheck on a Tuesday, and the general manager was shooting pool. He said, "Yeah, can you give me a minute? I got to print them out." And he's like, "Hey, how was school today?" Kind of said it sarcastically. I was like, I actually learned something today. And dealing with the dipshits in the kitchen, he was like, "Jesus, you fucking learned something?" I brought up the sinking into the Lusitania. He's like, "God, all right, fuck, I don't have the morons that are back there usually don't talk about world history like that." Interesting.
Yeah, but I mean, and I don't know, man. Was it a better time? It was a simpler time, black and white. Sometimes I feel like we might be better off if we just stopped the nuance, like of CNN and MSNBC and Fox News, and just like, nope, this is right, this is wrong. Let's make a decision right now, which is the right side, and just fight till we get it. Period.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's suggesting we're better off with some war. Are we?
Well, at least they ended the goddamn thing. They didn't do like the whole like nation building. Well, they did kind of. Actually, you know what? They did. I mean, if you think about it,
they split Berlin into forts and said,
well,
"All right, we're gonna divide this up."
I would say that Japan is the greatest example of mercy in the history of human conflict. I mean, we dropped 2 fucking nuclear weapons on them.
They saw hundreds of thousands of people's skin melting off.
But we didn't like go in and say like, this is ours now.
Yeah.
Which is something.
Well, we hold on. No, we did occupy Tokyo for a brief period during the transition.
Yeah, but then, who was the main man?
MacArthur?
MacArthur. They loved MacArthur. MacArthur could have walked into Japan at one point and been like, "I'm your emperor now," and they would have been like, "Hossa." They would have just fucking bowed to him. No, but I mean, look at what Japan does. Who doesn't drive a Honda Accord now? All right? Like,
yeah,
we allowed them to continue to be themselves and helped and just said, "You guys can't have a military for a long, long time anymore. We'll take care of it for you."
I mean, you think Germany's not on par with that? I feel like they've kind of ran a close second.
They had to learn that lesson twice, though, And I mean, the only mercy that we granted them was like, you're allowed to be. Like, I still don't understand why Germany's still a nation, to be honest with you. Like, after you fucking pull that shit twice, and we still allow you to, like, I don't know, not become France too.
Win soccer tournaments.
But let's move on. Let's see. And finally, this week in history, on September 4th, did you know? On September 4th, 1957, the Ford Edsel was introduced. Talk about a car that didn't quite make history. Worst selling car in the company's history. And I actually did a little bit more research into this. It was a car that Ford launched in 1957, hoping that it would be a big stylish hit, but it flopped. People thought the horse collar grille was weird. Also, it was too pricey for some, but also priced too low for others. So they didn't hit that sweet spot. So it wasn't a luxury car, and it also wasn't like completely affordable for everyone.
Gotcha. I'm looking at it right now. Okay, I mean that oozes Cadillac, Buick. Got a nice T-side grill, some big bubble eyes.
Yeah, well now if you have a Ford Edsel, like, you are living beyond your means.
Gotcha.
But at the time, it was just like they wanted to make it a luxury car that was affordable, but it was just outside everybody's price range. But anybody who had money was like, I ain't buying that piece of shit.
So I have something else. I was actually thinking about this today. In our lifetime, do you realize there's been a handful of Honda cars that were in production in our lifetime and cease to exist now?
Well, I mean, No, I mean, I'm trying to think. Like, I would say the best-selling Hondas are the Accord, the Civic, the Odyssey, but I can't think
the
of
CRV. But I mean, okay,
Yeah.
the CRX, the 2-seater. Stop. They made it in our lifetime. Stop making it. The Del Sol, which was another 2-seater, stylish that they made post CRX.
Was that Honda?
Honda Del Sol, buddy?
All right.
The Prelude, which is kind of that I don't even know what it was.
Well, I think. I mean, if we're gonna talk cars here, I think the Prelude became like what's Honda's American? Shit. The Prelude was a fucking dude.
That's a badass car, man.
If you had a Prelude back in like 1997,
Yeah.
you were a baller, buddy.
You were styling and profiling, yeah. And then the S2000, the convertible two-seater.
No, they may have
which
stopped
I
production
don't know.
on that, but like I don't think that might be by design because I think by not selling it anymore, I think it raised the value of the previous
but
cars.
the manufacturer's not making money on it anymore. If you're not making them and selling them, that's
That's
on the private market.
That was a beautiful car. But see, that was also the non-gay version of the Mazda Miata, which always made me mad. Is like it looks exactly the same until you figure out, like, oh, that's a Honda S2000. Dude, Corky Romano ruined the Mazda Miata so much so that they tried to stop calling it the Mazda Miata and they tried to call it the MX-6, but everybody was like, nah, it's a Miata.
That's the Miata.
Dude, the Miata is, man, talk about bad publicity. They need to figure out a way to make the Miata sexy again, like masculine again. That was my favorite car. Bought that motherfucker off the lot that same day. I looked at it for $6,000. Best car. That's my favorite car I've ever owned.
I was gonna say, because my old man always had a hard on for him. Did he ever razz you up about like?
Oh yeah, no, he loved it. It was a 6-speed, dude. Fucking stick shift. Fucking yeah. Oh man, I love that thing.
Kilby had an S2000, and I remember he left it over at the house for a weekend and told the old man he could drive it, and he did, and he was like, "Yeah, that thing's got fucking balls,
Well,
big old balls."
Say the difference, and I may be incorrect on this, but I think the S2000 was a front-wheel drive car. The Miata was rear-wheel drive. And that made going around turns so sweet.
Yeah, I was gonna say because I had an RX-7, a late '80s one. It was rear wheel, and it was
because
fun.
you could downshift mid-turn and you could fucking fishtail a little cunty bit and be a dickhead out there. Oh. Dude, because that thing was so small. It's like driving like a go-kart on steroids. An amazing. Yeah, I love that motherfucker. And it saved my life. Hit head on by a Grand Marquis. Guy was doing 80 miles an hour, fell asleep, fucking smashed me.
Yeah, I remember that. You threw it into neutral.
Yep.
Fucking.
That's how I lived.
You think if you were in gear, you would have died?
Yeah, that's what the cops told me.
Okay.
That's what the cops told me. They were like, because when I got out of the car, they're like, "Where's the driver?" I said, "I'm the driver." They're like, "Puh." Like, basically, homeboy was like, "Bullshit. You should be a smear on the fucking side of Route 40 right now."
Would you think I was in the trunk?
Yeah, basically ended up there.
Hooting and hollering.
And
That's
that,
the
my
Fun Fact
friends,
Friday?
is your Fun Fact Friday.
All right. Stick around. We're going to be back with Middle Class Holes Badass of the Month for September 2025 on this installment of Between the Holes.
When they said not everyone deserves a podcast, we didn't listen. The Middle Class Holes.
And welcome back to Between the Holes, presented by the Middle Class Holes, Foxman and Murr. Tonight, and before you go, this month's Middle Class Holes Badass of the Month, Austin Powers myself there again. Sometimes I've had a few beers and don't read the script.
Yeah, I've had too many beers, let me be honest.
This is coming from our good friends across the pond in Britain. Long and the short of it. Brit with the world's largest penis slips and breaks his arm in a shower after it got in the way. That's right. So a man with the world's biggest willy, according to medical studies, slipped and broke his arm in the shower after his penis got in the way. Matt Barr often hits the headlines thanks to his rather large member, which has been independently measured at a whopping 14.5 inches. Murr, you said you want me to share.
Yeah, I think this
Barr's.
is very important to the story, to be honest with you. I mean, not the slipping in the shower part, but this is the face of the man with the world's largest penis. Why don't you scroll down just there? There you go.
Yeah.
He's filling out those Wranglers right there.
Is that a French bread pizza in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? Good Lord.
So I just want to say to the
Dave Grohl's ugliest brother or something.
I just want to say, ladies, this is God's sense of humor. If you'd like to experience the largest penis that's walked the planet, it's got to be attached to this man. This is kind of a, would you? Do you wanna? What are you gonna do?
Sick
What are you gonna
twist
do?
of fate, yeah. I wonder if they 14 and a half inches. I wonder if that's flaccid or erect.
I mean, I'd hate to be the Guinness. Look at that one. There you go.
That's absolutely ridiculous. For those of you who are listening, he's in an arm sling with a white dress shirt that looked like he ate a fucking sloppy Joe that fell all across his arms and fucking stomach, with what appears to be a tow rope from a goddamn a freight liner stuffed down the middle of his pants.
Yeah, he looks better in that picture. I'll give him that.
He does.
Better haircut and everything. Yeah, but he said because of the what's he say? Because of like how big it is, he has a hard time seeing his feet, so he slipped getting out of the shower.
Agonizing pain wearing a sling. It's very, very embarrassing incident. One of the issues with being so large, especially in hot showers, is that it's not exactly easy to see my feet, especially when I move too fast. I can definitely mess up my balance. I was rushing to get ready for work. I didn't see the excess shower gel in the tub because my penis was the only thing on my eye line. I slipped, causing me to fall out of the tub completely headfirst and cracking my shoulder on the hard wood floor. I had 2 fractures as a result. Well,
wouldn't that be your excuse for everything, though? Like,
yeah, you know,
fucking pain's too big. I got blacked out. I had too much blood in my cock. You know, it's 14 and a half inches and all.
When I get an erection, things get a little hazy upstairs. Yeah, stub my toe, penis. Stub my finger, penis. Forgot to remain faithful. Penis.
Oops. By the way, I saw, those.
So,
by the way,
this guy's the middle class badass of the month because he has a 14 and a half inch dick, right?
Well, you know what? I would categorize him more like he's using his penis as an excuse that makes him the badass of the month. And you can't argue it because none of us have any grounds to contradict him on.
It's just, isn't an incident of just sheer buffoonery or clumsiness. It's his dick got in the way.
Yeah, and you can't challenge me because you don't have a 14 and a half penis, so you have no idea what I'm dealing with. Therefore, I can use this excuse. And I'm reminding the world that I have the biggest penis. And I look like this.
In case you didn't know. Oh.
In case you were wondering.
Yeah.
I have a 14 and a half penis.
Do you think he's been solicited by Triple X companies?
Oh, I'm sure. 100%. Yeah, absolutely. But, I mean, look, I actually saw a video the other day, and it's an Asian woman, and she's being interviewed on the street. And it's one of these ones where like they hang out like on probably 6th Street in Austin, and they just ask random people questions like, "What's your favorite size dick?" And this
what's your sluttiest confession? Yeah.
And she's like, listen, you need to be like honestly 6 inches or less. I can't deal with anyone. And he's like, what? She's like, yeah, I'm very small down there. Like anything else just hurts. It's not fun. Like so. 6, and he's like, what about 5 inches? She's like, yeah. What about 4? She's like, yeah. What about 3? She's like, yeah. She's like, what about 2? He's like, all right, now we're pushing it. But, but no, like, not everybody we live in such a porn-heavy society that we think, like, bigger is better. Like, nah, not necessarily. Like, like, is a bigger needle better? Like, gets the medicine in faster? No. Like...
You're right. No. Yeah, there has and probably always will be the stigma about, male endowment correlating to better sex. And I do think some of those drunk women ham it up to just for the camera. But yeah, you're getting just absolutely impaled by fucking by the sex exterminator here.
Yeah, like, oh, let me get this road cone in you. Come on. Like, no.
No. But yeah, I guess congratulations to Matt.
Way to break your arm.
Matt Barr. Good thing you saved your arm for the sake of your dick.
Now I can't jerk off. You need 2 hands.
That's a good point. That's a good point. I will say I would be curious to see what the ejaculate is like.
Oh.
You know, but does the gusto match the girth? Maybe it's just some little like putty, like
like, well, I mean, the whole does the curtain match the carpet? But like, I mean, do the plums match the trunk? I mean, because I mean, imagine this: you got like this giant dong, and you got these. Even if they're average sized balls, I mean, that's just silly.
That's right. Yeah, I don't if God played a weird trick on him. Be like, look, I'm going to give you normal sized balls, but you're going to have this. I keep going back to like a tugboat tow rope. I don't know why. It just seems funny.
It's
to me.
accurate.
So you have it. Our middle class holes badass of the month from September 2025. We're going to vote on this in the end of the year. A few folks are paying attention. We'll put out a flyer. We got, let's see here, 4 more months to go. We'll see who ends up as the, I don't know if Matt Barr is the front runner, but I don't know. Is he the leader in the clubhouse? To be determined.
By an inch.
Yeah, by more than a fucking inch. Some listener comments. This comes from MLB Reimaging Baseball for modern baseball fans and TV rights. This is kind of what we were discussing realignment. Talia says, I definitely don't mind realignment, but I do think crosstown rivals should be in the same division as it. What is it? Should be. Wait a minute. Hold on. I think she fucked this up. I think this should not be. Should be in the same division as each other. It's too close to home.
Yeah, she meant shouldn't be.
Should not be. I mean, what do you like, Cubs?
I disagree. Like,
I mean, there's three in. There's only 3. It's New York, Chicago, and L.A.
Well, and then you would create one if you did Baltimore, Washington, and
that's true.
But like,
Baltimore, Washington's closer than L.A. and Anaheim.
And the thing is like, but they're making this they're making this opinion based on like, oh, people are assholes. They're gonna start fighting each other. Like, okay, maybe, fine. That's passion. Passion is part of sports. Like, I mean, I don't want to get in a fight if I go to fucking DC to watch a baseball game, but if that's the price I gotta pay for like extra, like that's how, like if that's the stakes, if that's the height that the stakes get raised to, then bring that shit on. That's passion. That's positive for the sport.
Fanatic.
Yes.
And then I could send the 2 chumps that I met at the meet and greet out on the front lines, as pawns.
and again, I go back to my whole thing, especially on the East Coast, like because somebody, I don't know if you're going to get to this listener comment, but somebody said something about like you could already do that as far as like visiting each.
You could, yes, I think that's later on in the comment section.
Hey, go and read that one.
Yeah, you can already do that tour already.
Okay, so because my point was like you could make a tour of like each rival stadium if they played each other in successive series. And it's like, well, if you look at it right now, you cannot do that. Like,
no.
For us on the East Coast, for the AL East, it's Toronto, New York, Boston, Baltimore, and Tampa. Like, that is what is the mileage on that? Like 2,000 miles? Like, you ain't doing that.
More than I ever want to do.
Yeah, no. But, like, I can go to Washington. I can go to Pittsburgh. I can go to Cleveland.
Go to Philly.
I can go to Philly or DC.
Yeah.
Like that's a doable fucking road trip right there.
Yeah. A deadhead tour, as you called it.
Yes.
Someone said, why do you, TikToker, why do you guys think every division needs to just be a clump of 4 of the closest teams? Well, that's what they're trying to they're trying to make the divisional rivalry, right?
And not just that, they're trying to limit travel so that the players can actually like rest even when they don't have a day off.
Yeah.
I mean, it just makes sense. Like, I mean,
I know we didn't think it. MLB thought it.
well, what shit? I always mess his name. I always want to call him Fred Manfra, but what's his name?
Manfred.
Yeah.
It's Fred Manfred.
Oh, is it? Okay. Well, there we are. He came up with this, and that's a great idea. And he hadn't had a lot of bad ones recently, so let's just keep on trucking.
Fred True. Hold on. Maybe you got me. There's Manfra, who was the Orioles commentator. Hold on. MLB commissioner. Sorry, folks.
Because I don't think it's
Rob Manfred. Sorry.
There you go.
You got me all confused. Next comes from TikTok. It's like bleach and laundry. It's where I'm talking about some bullshit about how I don't understand how bleach always just fucks up clothes every time I use bleach.
Only the good shirt.
That's right. 302 Local, who's I graduated with her. She's I guess a regular commenter and sees her shit on TikTok. She says, they make a thicker splash-free bleach. But if you want white's whiter, use a bluing liquid with OxyClean, soak cycle, and warm water. I wear whites now more than ever. I use bleach in my laundry, and everything comes out as white as when I bought it. So there you go. There's the recipe.
Yeah, it just sounds like work that I don't do.
Bluing liquid. Come on, man. Bluing liquid.
I don't know what that means. Sounds to me like I'm just dumping, like, I don't know, like berry punch into my cycle.
Berry punch. Bluey. Yeah, I suppose. I don't know. Listen, for those of you who are wondering about our inquiry about why bleach fucks things up, perhaps this is the recipe. Give it a whirl. Let us know if it works.
But it's just for some reason one piece of spittle every fucking time.
Every time. Yeah. I have never once used bleach in my own laundry. Never.
No, because I don't care about how white my shirt is.
That's a good point.
I just don't.
Oh, all right. I think that wraps this one up.
Yeah, I'm intoxicated enough to wrap it up.
That's right. So tonight on This Week in Classholes History, damn it, I had it. I think I let it go. Hold on.
What you can't flush.
That's right. What you can't flush. Murr goes on a long tale when he had someone come out and check his plumbing system, and the plumber told him that there's only a certain amount of things that can and can't be flushed down your septic tank, or not septic tank, but down your toilet. He said it's limited to what, like fucking toilet paper and flushables.
I don't remember. We're gonna find out together.
There you are. What you can't flush, circa 2020. Check us out next week on The Middle Classholes. Take care, everybody.
My armpit hair as well is getting out of control, and I actually did put the the guard on, the trimmer, and I put it on the number 2, and I got the armpit hair. And I got to tell you something, man. I don't want to sound too weird here, but it was the softest hair I've ever felt in my life.
Oh, you didn't just flush it like a normal, because I do trim my armpit hair as well, but you felt it, you massaged it.
Well, I do it. What I do is I do it over the sink, and then it all falls into the sink, and then I'm able to kind of like, I'll get like 2 pieces of toilet paper and just kind of get it all wrangled up, because I own my house, and I just had some septic system work done. And they told me all the stuff that you should really avoid flushing down the hopper. And hair was one of them. There was a whole mess of stuff that I was like, really? He's basically telling me, like, hey, you got the flushable wipes? Yeah, don't flush them. Like, why do they make them like that? He's like, oh, they take like 10 years to break down, man. You don't want to flush those flushable wipes. And he just went through all these normal things that you would just probably think, yeah, I'll flush the hair, the flushable wipes. It was just normal stuff that you would flush. And I was like, oh, so he's like, just shit, piss, and toilet paper. That's it. Your standard. And get the lightest toilet paper you can. You want your septic system. Like, don't you want to do some work on my house? Like, don't you want to come back? But no, I don't want them to dig up that shit mud that they had to do.
So wet ones, which are designed to be a better, more thorough version of toilet paper. And I think we've talked about this in the past. The preferred standard method is toilet paper, wet one, toilet paper. If this guy, who is he's a plumber or a septic specialist?
Plumber / septic specialist. Septic specialist mainly. Very proud of his work. And if you are going to do that kind of work, be proud of it.
Right. And we're not even going to get into the line of work, how he fell into it, how he obtained the title of septic specialist. But, okay. But am I supposed to throw the wet one, the used poopy smeared wet one, into a waste paper basket in the side of the fucking toilet?
Yes.
Ugh.
Yes. Even the flushables, he said. Like, and because the wet ones, you're not supposed to. Just like paper towels, no, you're not supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
Wet ones, the standard wet one, no, don't flush. The flushables, I guess, maybe if you live in the city, you guys are in Baltimore, you guys could probably get away with it. It's not your septic system they're digging up. But, yeah, that's us normal folk out in the country. We're not supposed to do that because they don't break down over time.
I think it's like, I'm just going to say out of sight, out of mind. I'm just keep flushing that stuff. Hair, septic, wet ones.
Yeah, well, in the city, I think, like he said, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Don't you guys have that big, giant, like, boulder that they put inside the sewer and then just, like, roll it through to get... Didn't you guys have, like, that shitberg in Baltimore that time? Like, it was just a big, sludgy ball of, like grease and hair that was just clogging up the septic system for a period of time?
I feel like that's every major city, right?
I guess.
Like in New York, like I had seen articles, and I have to probably find one, but like I had seen articles of like them digging up wooden pipes, like hollowed out tree trunks that, you know, from like the 1800s that definitely get clogged with fucking wet ones. You know what I mean? Like an oak tree isn't made for that. So yeah, I think every major city has their issue.
Yeah, but I did. They had to dig up my whole sewer system, and I didn't appreciate that.
Yeah,
I don't want to have that happen
sucks.
again.
That would be terrible.
I'm unfamiliar with this giant ball of sludge that they found in Baltimore. I think I treat that just kind of the way I treat wet ones and anything else that I flush down. Taco bits, uneaten cherry tomatoes, hand sanitizing wipes, bacterial wipes. And pretty much anything that I won't throw in the trash, I just flush down the toilet, put down the sink. So I don't know about the ball. I don't know what goes down there. Out of sight, out of mind.
Okay, here you go. Now this isn't from Baltimore, but it's called the Giant Fatberg, and it was a ball of grease and baby wipes, and it jammed up the sewage system. A 210-foot long monster made of grease and used baby wipes clogged up a sewer. Oh, I'm sorry, this is in southwestern England, British officials said. It was a big, gooey blob, and it made for exceptionally challenging work conditions, they say. Fatbergs like this one have become unpleasantly familiar throughout the United Kingdom and the States.
Damn. Hot damn. They southwest England and Baltimore, potato, tomato, same difference. And I guess they called up your boy Ray, the septic specialist, to come and blast that thing Ghostbuster style, right?
No, they rolled a giant fucking Indiana Jones style boulder just through, because it's round and the pipes are round. So they just said, blah, 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 and they rolled that fucker through until it all came out the other side.
Right into the English Channel, right? Just,